So we can definitely discuss this question now. So let's see how do we solve it. Um, so I read an advertisement that said posh air conditioned gentlemen of taste. So of course, air conditioned cannot be gentlemen, right? Are available for fully furnished rooms. So we can see what posh air conditioned fully furnished rooms are available for gentlemen of taste. So this is a simple combination, right? Not much of the effort would be needed. So we can see, how do you get the clue that posh air conditioned would be defining not people, right? So definitely P and S is a mandatory pair. So you can see where all PS works. So in this, we do not have PS as a mandatory pair. Here we do not have PS as a mandatory pair. So we are just left with two answer choices, right? So that's it. Posh. Now see, the rooms can be available. Gentlemen cannot be available for ACs, right? So are available for whom? For gentlemen of taste. So again, R and Q sort of makes a mandatory pair. So where do we have RQ? We do not have it in C. So we can pick A as the final answer, right? So let's move to the next question. Please try it for a while and then we will discuss. So let's discuss. Now it's a rule by anyone and admit that must not be of no variation be violated. So it's a rule that must not be violated. I think that's a rhythm we can very easily establish. So that must not be violated. Q and S definitely stands as a mandatory pair. Now you can see QS is here. We can keep this. We can eliminate this. We can eliminate this. We can eliminate this. So at times it's very simple. Even if you are able to identify one combination, you'll find that answer solving becomes pretty easy, right? So we'll see what is the right answer that we can go for. A. So it is a rule that must not be violated by anyone and admit of no variation. So that definitely works as the right combination. So we'll mark A as our answer and move on to the next questions. Please try this, then we'll discuss. So this should be that stands in front of us, right? So there's a spelling error. Please correct that. So let's read. The house about half a mile distant that stands in front of us was built of stones which were dug off its own site. So if you are able to identify, then R and S will be a mandatory pair. Was built of stones, which is pointing to stones. Are you able to understand this? Right, so stones were dug out of its own site. So RS will be definitely a mandatory pair. You can go for one round of elimination here. So here we have RS, here we have RS. We don't have RS here and we do not have RS in B choice also. So A and B we can eliminate. Now we can see which works better. the house that stands in front of us about half a mile distant. So we have either this combination, we go for QP or we go for QR, right? So we'll see in both the answer choices that we are able to gauge that Q is constant, right? Now we have to check the placement of P. So if we place P in the end, the house that stands in front of us was built of stones which were dug out of its own site about half a mile distant. So this doesn't make any cohesiveness. So S ke baad P will not work. So we will definitely go for C as our correct answer, right? So let's move to the next question and try this. So let's read the statement. Therefore, you must listen carefully what the speaker has said in order to understand will be made just once. So therefore, you must listen carefully in order to understand. So what should be the output? So in order to understand. So I'm sure you are able to understand that P and R should go hand in hand, right? So not RP but PR. So PR combination is just there in S, right? So that makes the game really easy for us, but you can still, check the combination. The statement will be made just once. Therefore, you must listen carefully in order to understand what the speaker has said, right? So this absolutely makes the sentence logical, gives a clear idea. So we can pick C as the right answer. So it's very important to understand just by deducing one simple clue, you will be able to reach to the answer choice, right? Isn't it amazing? So let's move to the next question and try this out. So it's an easy one. Let's do it together. Reading books is a habit. So this makes like making sense, but also enlarges the mind because it not only increases knowledge. Are you able to observe this combination? Not only, but also. So these are correlative conjunctions which should always go hand in hand. So not only, but also is one combination, right? Then there is either or there is neither nor, or there is both and, right? So these are few combinations that you should pay attention to and ensure that the combination stays intact. So based on that we can also deduce that after R Q should come, because before not only will come and after but also will appear, right? So because it not only increases the knowledge but also enlarges the mind. So you can see RQ combination stands where. So it's not here, it's not here, it's here, we can keep this, and it's not here. So that's where how you have cracked the question. Now you can definitely cross check. Reading books is a habit which must be cultivated by everybody, and why it should be cultivated, that's being explained by R and Q, because it not only increases knowledge but it also enlarges the mind. So I'm sure we are very comfortable and sorted picking up C as the final answer. So you have to be very, very smart in picking up and catching up these clues. If you are not observant and if you are not aware, then it will be really difficult. So that is the reason we say that, you know, your study of verbal ability should be balanced. You should be working on grammar, because here this is sort of a concept of grammar. You should be aware of vocabulary, right? You should be knowing comprehension, so that everything aligned together can, you know, help us reach to the right answers quickly and effectively, right? So let's try the next question. So let's try. Towards midnight, so that the sky was lighted and the clouds drifted away, the rain ceased, the incredible lamps of stars. So the sky will be lighted by incredible lamp of stars. So I'm sure you are able to be relate that PS will be a mandatory pair. So we can see where PS goes together. So sky will be lighted with the stars, right? So not SP but PS. So this goes out. PS is only there in D, right? So this makes life so easy. You just are able to strike the chord, right? So what happened? We can definitely check D as the combination. Towards midnight, the rain ceased and the clouds drifted away. So the sky was clear and it was lighted by the lamps. So yes, D absolutely makes sense. Very rational, logical, and this was quick to solve. So let's try the last question before we wind up with today's session. So check and let me know what will you pick as the right answer. So let's try this. The exhibition committee attractive and useful to make the exhibition making efforts has been. So has been making efforts, you can definitely catch this. Two efforts for to making the exhibition attractive and useful. So it's entirely the reverse order that works. SRQP, and let's see. It's an easy one. We can definitely go for A as an answer, right? So I hope you really enjoyed the session. You found the questions really easy to solve. We've really practiced hard. You should try some questions on your own also. And don't forget, consistency is the key. Please help us spread the word. Take good care of yourself. All the best.